Hey, hi, hello, my fellow K-pops and cosmic bodies. Happy New Year! Let's do a full collection flip through and see how far my collection's come since we last checked in 12 months ago. Okay, so we'll get started with, I'm gonna do twice as the first flip through we will do. Last year I remembered to do a quick flip through of everything without me talking so we can have a nice clean comparison shot. And I'll make sure to show that right before we flip through every collection in live time. So real quick, let's just beam over to December 2024 right now. Okay, so that's where we left twice off, and back then it was all in one binder. I'm pretty sure that split happened this year. So, hi, if for some reason this is your first video with me, welcome. I collect OT9 twice pre-order benefits. Not even the album cards, just these album pre-orders, the border sets. They're very colorful. They're really cute, and so I tend to collect them because they tend to be easy, and I think they're the perfect way to represent how much I love Twice and how much I want to engage with them in a very casual fashion without full-blown hardcore collecting anything. In the beginning, I have my Miscellaneous section, I call it, for Twice, which is the cards that I do not have 5 or more for, because I didn't want to make a bunch of pages that were just half full. That didn't seem fun to me. So now that Miscellaneous section has shrunk immensely over the last year, and we've really pared down to mostly, I love this set, 2 sets that are mostly full, which has been great fun. I know these are easy cards to complete, but I got into K-pop in 2020, and I really did not start buying any albums firsthand until 2023, 24, truly. Probably 2024 is when I really started engaging with comebacks actively, and so I've had to back collect a lot of these, and it's harder than you'd think if you're trying to not super prioritize them. If you're just like, yeah, I'll pick up a few here, I'll pick up a few there, if you're trying to bulk buy. I think this is one of my favorite sets. I'm really happy with how this set is coming along. I love this mint color that's really emphasized, and I think this set is one of my favorites. I am so excited to get Momo and be done with it. I love how weird this set and non-cohesive and the really thick borders. I just think it's so cute. And they all look so little. Ugh. They look so little, which I think is a lot of fun. So that's binder number 1. And then, like I said, we had a split this year to encompass what I like to think of as modern Twice. I don't know if anyone else does. Really what it is that Formula of Love, or Taste of Love, was the first comeback I remember happening as a K-pop fan and someone who's paying attention to the industry. So that's not exactly why I chose to split it off there, but it was very convenient. Also, these are more modern, so these are super easy to get. So a lot of these sets are totally done. As a Twice fan, I am Junghyun Momo biased. Just love Junghyun. That's my girl. And sometimes you have to have a nice, a little Momo in your life is a sweet treat. You feel that? I don't know if that makes any sense. But I have completed a ton of sets. A lot of sets from these I was able to pick up in people who are just decluttering, buy, get free, super cheap discounts. Things like this, Mina. Why would they do this to us, And then we get into strategy, which is much more recent. When I originally saw the photo book concepts for strategy, that black outfit, I was like, I don't know about that. But I've come quite around on it quite a bit. I like their very bizarre outfits. And then we have 4. This is such a good album. I love this album. Then we get into 10. Anniversary special. So I'm missing one more set from 10. And then we start into the miscellaneous section, which is miscellaneous for all K-pop. I put cards that like I have come into one way or another that I don't want to get rid of, or things that I pick up for just an idol or 2 at a time, such as Chaewon from Le Sserafim. I really loved Le Sserafim since debut, but I've never really wanted to collect them. And so I've picked up a few cards throughout all of my buying and trading. And so these are the cards I've picked up. This one I pulled myself because I've bought one singular Le Sserafim album. I bought Unforgiven after it came out, but that's it. And then we have my teeny tiny Lubel section for Lucemble. Again, I'm not necessarily motivated to start collecting Lucemble, but I love Vivi. And this Go On was one I managed to pick up through trades. I tend to have a lot of large inclusions. So a lot of these weird cards have come from like a one-off album. Not a lot. I have one Twice album I bought. So I have a lot of Twice. And people tend to have Twice cards. So I will trade like multiple large inclusions for one random card. Or I've gotten a fair number of free cards as freebies, or they're like buy 2 get 1 free and I only need 2 cards, but it's kind of fun to pick up a 3rd card for free. So like that's the case where this Chew came from. I think this Sua Lenticular was just $1 and I miss Pixie so much, so I just picked it up. And then we have my teeny tiny boys section. This was from an album my friend gifted me. These I got from a random trading event. Someone was just giving them away. And then we have some bonus back here with an Oogie and a Joy I've picked up this year. This was from a random Christmas holiday card thing. And this was a case of free just pay shipping. So why not get Oogie with a bunny? She's cute and I love her. So that's what's back here. And then I also have my half-hearted stamp collection. I don't know if I've ever shown this off. I'm still working on it. We're filling this back page up, but I just think it's fun to sort of keep some of the stamps you get, especially since I get a lot of international mail, and international stamps are so beautiful. I believe these are Bulgarian stamps from Bulgaria. I've traded with someone there twice, and each time, because it's international mail, they have to put a lot of stamps on, and I'm sorry they have to pay a lot of money, but I love seeing so many stamps. They're super pretty. But that is everything in the Twice and the miscellaneous binder. I didn't necessarily prioritize this collection a lot this year, but I feel like whenever I did get cards for it, it absolutely exploded. And it's crazy that it's in 2 binders, but Twice keeps releasing music, and I'm hoping they continue to do so because I love Twice so much. So I think our next section we'll do is the Dreamcatcher binder. So for Dreamcatcher, I collect Dami and Handong. But similar to Twice, I have my miscellaneous section up front for things that are not quite in sets. My main goal for Dreamcatcher, because they have a lot of out-of-print albums, is to collect from summer holiday onwards. And then once I finish those albums, then I'll consider back collecting, because Dreamcatcher is very difficult to back collect because they were so small for such a long time. They didn't have a lot of albums circulating. But these are miscellaneous things I've gotten over the years. These were from, I hosted a group order this year, and they were part of the sets, so I picked them up because they were cute. These were freebies from somebody. Oh, it was a giveaway I won, and they added these Xions, and I thought that was really, really cute of them. These are all from those group orders I hosted. I claimed these myself because I thought they were really cute. Even though I'm not really a pre-order benefit person, I don't collect a lot of them. But then we get into summer holiday proper, with the goal being that I have a Handong page and a Dami page, and then they should mirror one another. Lots of empty spaces right now. That's just kind of how it goes. Handong's a little easier to collect than Dami, I have found. I think I tend to collect like a lot of Dreamcatcher at once, then I go, I should work on my other collections. And then I step back, and I do a lot of back and forth with Dreamcatcher. But I'm very surprised to see that this Follow Us Handong is coming along really well. And then we have From Us. Oh, I should say also I have the eras just running into one another. So this is all Follow Us. And then we have the platform of Follow Us goes up here. And then we start From Us. My general rule of thumb is I do the limiteds, and then I do the regulars, and then I do whatever the platform version is. Here is the OT7 set of the platform version, because these I was able to find free with claim through a lot of people. And then we get into a little bit more From Us. I love the concepts from this album. They're my favorite. I really want to focus on From Us and get a little more done, but I'm just not quite there yet. And then we get into Villains. I have a Dami Villains limit. A Handong and a Dami. I have both the glasses versions limited, secured. That person said they will send out in January, so I'm very, very excited. Villains, that fills up all the way here. I just need one more Handong Polka, and I'm pretty much done with Handong for Villains. I would love to be. Handong released her debut album this year, her debut mini. It is in Chinese, but I really like it. Peekaboo is the title track in my heart. I think it's my favorite one off the album very, very easily. I think it's so catchy. I catch myself humming it a lot. Then we go into Virtuous, where I have Virtuous is probably my most complete era. I was able to get a lot of things like right after the era draft finished, which was awesome. And then here's an OT7 set of the weapons, because I just love this set, so I picked it up. And then we go into My Sweet Christmas Love, which is really empty, because at the time I thought we were going to have more OT7 promotions. So I don't know what I'm going to do with these pages yet. I'm going to optimistically leave them open for I don't know how much longer, but otherwise we might just condense to save ourselves a page and cry a little. I don't know how I'm going to collect them going forward. So here is what I went to see them in concert last year. This was the concert set. And then from the trading card set, these three were my pulls, and then I just picked up some other ones. I would like to get a Dami, so I have one of everybody, but I just haven't gotten to it yet. I think I will collect Dami's Korean album photo cards as she continues going through. I'm not sure about Handong because from what I can tell, people are less likely to host for Chinese events, so they'll be a little harder to find. I haven't decided yet. I don't even know if there's photo cards in her most recent album, quite frankly. So probably just focusing on Dami going forward, and then if I really miss collecting new releases, because I have plenty to back collect, as you can see, I'll probably start with Sua from UIU, but also there's an insane amount of cards for just their debut album, so we'll see if that ever comes to fruition. But here's my pre-order benefit set. I had a vision of doing a couple of pre-orders for, originally it was just going to be a row, but it's kind of turned into 2 rows, but pre-order benefits. So these are all Virtuous pre-orders. These are all of my favorites from the era. And then we get into Seulgi. So for Seulgi, I collect just her solo album releases. This is a really, really slow collection. It's admittedly not a high priority one because we start with 28 Reasons. And we go into, I have the last photo book card secured, but it's with a friend who's struggling. So I know I will get it, but I cannot say how soon I will get it. I have a feeling it's going to take quite a few months. And then we go into the back, and then we have, I just picked this up one time because I could, and my one accidentally on purpose pull. I got scammed out of a bunch of accidentally on purpose albums. I bought a set from a group order manager who got overwhelmed and just decided he wanted to stop group ordering. So I do have 2 sealed albums on the way from someone who's basically picking up that Goms mess. God bless her. And it's not everything I paid for, but it's all of everything she has, basically. Because she doesn't have everything. So that's going to have to be good enough. And maybe in the new year, I'll be willing to start picking these up. Because for a really long time, I was just sort of waiting to see if I would get my albums. So I was hesitant to leave and look for cards. But now I know I'm probably not. We just got to let it go. But that is Seulgi right now. I do have some extra sticker versions, so I'm hoping in the new year to also make a bonus little cover out of an extra copy of the sticker version. And then we have Billlie. So for Billlie, I collect just Moonsua. And I'm actually complete with her because Billlie never had a full group comeback in the year of our Lord 2025. Mystic Story, what's happening? So I start with an OT7 set from Collective Soul and Unconscious. And then we have the Chapter 1 cards, Collective Soul and Unconscious cards. Chapter 2. Chapter 3, I am missing some of the group Polaroids for this and Collective Soul and Unconscious. They haven't been too high priority. I actually had one on the way, and USPS simply said they delivered a package that they didn't. And it never reached me, and they were like, I don't know what to tell you. We delivered it. And I never got that package that had that card and a bunch of albums that I had bought from somebody, including a full set of Billie's Chapter 2 albums. So I'm really, really mad about that. But then we get into their latest era. These cards were so much harder to find than I thought they would be. But we have Moonsua's full set, and then 4 is a weird amount of cards. So I grabbed this Haram and this Shiun because they're really, really cute. So that way it filled it up a little bit better. And then throughout the year, I happened to pick up these 2 Moonsua pre-order benefits because they were cute. I think they're both from Ya era. So I have them stashed back here for now. I guess I could have moved them up top so then they would have looked like they were part of this. We'll see if I make that choice. Maybe I'll pick up one more card just so it's even. And then we will be perfectly ready for whenever they want to give Billlie a comeback again. I'm waiting. They gave me Blonde Moonsua and then just didn't, you know? We kept it going. They gave me Blonde Shiun and then just stopped. So, I don't know. They're releasing a Season's Greetings this year. They're still active on Instagram, so they're still active as a group. They haven't gone silent or hiatus. They just stopped. Whatever. I'm not in charge of companies. I don't know what their finances look like. I miss them, though, and I would buy albums if they had a comeback. And then finally, for this one page, we have Bad Villain, which did not exist last year as a collection. Bad Villain also has not released a physical album in the year of our Lord 2025. They had one comeback and it was only a digital single. The song slaps and I love it and I listen to it constantly, but no photocards to collect. So here's their Overstep album. I'm doing 3 members for Bad Villain: Emma, Chloe Young, and Ina. I'm missing one Emma card that I'm convinced doesn't exist. I've seen one copy of it and it's in Europe and I'd have to buy the whole album with it. So that's what's stopping me from buying it because I can't afford album shipping from Europe to the United States. And it's crushing me. So if anybody sees this card, please. I also have this Chloe Young benefit because I picked it up at some point because it was cheap. So she's there. Maybe once I get this, I'll think about grabbing 2 pre-order benefits to fill out the page, but this is where my whole heart lies right now, is getting this card. I have duplicates of both of these cards for anybody who would like to trade for that card. Please. It's my biggest in search of. But that's everything that is in the Dreamcatcher binder. It's more like Dreamcatcher and Friends, but in my heart, it's still a Dreamcatcher binder. I think we will move on to Mamamoo next. So for Mamamoo, I know this collection has had, it hasn't had a ton of cards added to it truly, but in terms of storage has probably received the most changes. But the big thing is that I split up the group cards and the solo cards into 2 separate binders. This is the OG binder. I used to be able to fit all of my collections into this one when I first started. I'm fairly complete with their group album cards. I have just a couple albums that I have not finished yet. So I recently bought a bunch of cards for Mamamoo, but I just have to wait for them to make it to me. They're either being shipped in January or they're on the way now. I have to check with that seller. But we have, this is the 4 Colors, 4 Seasons albums, I should say. I have split them up by member instead of by album. So we have Yellow Flower, Red Moon, Blues, White Wind, and it goes that way for all of the members. So we have Moonbyul, and then Wien, and Wasa. Yeah, I have Reality in Black, which is complete, and then Travel. I just bought about 5 travel cards. That's what I just referenced before, so we'll finally see some progress here, even though it looks like nothing happened this year. Where Are We Now? I Say the Best, and then we get into Mic On. I have heard RBW has stated that there will be a full group Mamamoo comeback this year. I don't know if I believe them, but if it's true, I'm very, very excited for it. Mic On had 101 cards, and I got all the photo book ones and was kind of like, I'll pick up more as I see them, so this hasn't grown very fast. And that's okay. I've spent a lot more time chasing other collections and chasing specifically Moonbyul solo works than I have on the group stuff, which is really sad because I'd like to be done with their group works. I'm not there yet. But that's everything in the group binder. So then we go into the solo binder, which is newly created as of this year. And this one is significantly thicker because they are all active soloists right now. So we get started with Solar. I just bought these 3 cards. Again, they're on the way to me, so we'll be done with Spit It Out 6 years after it released. And then we get into, this is what I have from Face and Photo Book Colors, Polka Colors. And then I do not have anything from I Want. I haven't seen a ton of them. Unfortunately, the Mamamoo trading scene is dying down, and I relied pretty heavily on people on buying things secondhand. And people aren't really buying things firsthand for them. But we have a handful of pre-order benefits with for Moonbyul. We have, this is one of the RBW Cafe sets. They did these little lunchbox and picnic and everything. This is a pre-order set from the present. And then we get into Selfish, her first Kino kit from way back when. And then we have Dark Side of the Moon photo book, and then the reprint of Dark Side of the Moon, I think it's just called Moon. Lunatic or Sequence. If you didn't know, I totally have not been saying who I collected for Mamamoo. I collect OT for Mamamoo, and then that includes group and solo releases, but Moonbyul is my alt of alts as an idol. I just love her. So I do tend to prioritize her collection a little bit more, but lately I've been focusing more on the collections we'll do after Mamamoo. Triple S and Purple Kiss have kind of been my big ones lately. So there's not a ton of progress here, but we have Museum of Starlit. I totally can't think of the title of this album now. Starlit of Muse. Oh my god. I lost it. It went away. And then we have the repackaged Starlit of Twinkle. I'm 2 cards away from finishing this. This was exclusively a vinyl. So if you don't know, it's really hard to collect. And I've seen a couple copies of the cards, but I never do it and actually buy them. And then we have Aurora, which is her Japanese debut. I bought a bunch of albums on Yokio and got horrible pulls. I got 2 sets from 2 different sellers and got exclusively duplicates. It was kind of hilarious. But here's some of the large inclusions they put in that album. And then we have Laundry, which was this year's release, which is honestly a great album. I really enjoy it. My pulls from those albums. And then we get into, I put Mamamoo Plus just in the middle because I figured it's Moonbyul and Solar, so why not put it after them with, we've got the better merch, Act 1 Scene 1, Act 1 Scene 1 regular version, and then 2 rabbits. I was kind of hoping they'd do more with this unit that they made, but I think they were just panicking for a while. Because I really like them as a unit. I think the 2 Rabbits album was really, really good too. So I would have loved if they'd done more with it. We have the 2 Rabbits limited version, or the mini version, I guess it is, and 1 pre-order benefit. And then we've got Wheein. I don't have a lot for Wheein. Wheein releases a lot of music with a lot of cards, and she overwhelms me. So I don't have a lot for her, unfortunately. But we've got Red, We, In the Mood. And then we have Hwasa finally. Hwasa just doesn't release a lot of albums, so that makes the cards a little harder to find. But we have Maria, Guilty Pleasure, and Oh. Hwasa's Good Goodbye might be one of my favorite releases of the year. I know it's not like a proper album, but just as a song and a music video, it's phenomenal. And if you've not listened to Good Goodbye, what are you doing with your life? Please go listen to it. But that's the Mamamoo collection. I don't think it changed too much in this year except for the visuals of it, but I've been really busy with Triple S. So let's talk Triple S. So for Triple S, this is just large inclusions. I wasn't planning on hardcore collecting large inclusions for them until I have a friend who is a group order manager who's trying to offload, and he's given me a terrible, terrible little side quest that I'm doing really good on, but also, oh my god. So these are mixed together. This is the Muhan Mujuk visual cards. I shouldn't say I collect all the large inclusions. I mostly collect visual cards. These are the quote-unquote action cards from Just Mujuk. And then we get into Assemble 24 where this side quest began. There is 72 of these motherfuckers because there's one for each version for each member. And don't get me wrong, I love them. I am 1 visual card away from completing Assemble 24. If someone wants to give me Dahyun, I have so many other postcards. I will trade you 2 postcards for 1 Dahyun. Please. I will take duplicates if you're like, I don't know. Of other cards, if you wanted to trade 2 for 2 and that was your concern. Please, I would love this visual card. But They look so good. I know these aren't photo cards. I know these are not people's bread and butter, but I love these things. It's just insane. I don't know why I keep collecting them, but I do, and I love them. Because then we have Visionary Vision with Performante, and we start with the photos. I'm done with this set. I'm missing just one G on here, and then I will be done with the B version visual cards, or photo prints. The visual cards, I do need a little more work. I'm missing, I think, just this Yubin. Well, this doesn't, there's 12 of them. How have I'm not quite sure how that math has worked out, but, it's because I messed up putting them back in. I must have been when I was putting them in, but there we go. I'm missing just like a couple more Performante ones. It's been a thing. What I do have complete for is Assemble 2025, the bookmarks. These were a little bit easier because they were not version exclusive. And then we get into the photo prints for version A, the We So Alive. I'm missing quite a few of these. I did not hardcore try to find these this year. There's not as many trades. Like last year I found a lot of visual card trades. This year I didn't find as many. And then the Are You Alive version. Okay, good. They are all on camera. So if you see anything missing in here and you have it and you want to get rid of it, you want to trade, absolutely, please. I would love them. And then we get into the visual cards for this era. These little like 4-cut styles I think are very unique, and I love them. Because we start with the Are You Alive? And then to We So Alive. These are so cute. I love them, and I think everybody else does too, based on the fact that I have so many blank spots for this set specifically. And then in the back, I had a random lot of group orders that I didn't know what to do with, that I picked. Well, I hosted a group order. It was an insane amount of inclusions, and it had a bunch of different groups. So I sort of just added some misc ones in the back that were in that lot that I wanted to keep for myself. Just because, basically. Like, just some extra postcards for funsies, just for me. But that's all my large inclusions for Triple S. I don't have any pulls from the new album yet. So let's talk photo cards. If you don't know me, I'm an, I guess, OG Triple S stan. That's a silly thing to say. But I have been collecting Triple S since these released, which is the round 1 first class objects. I have been following the group and been a fan since they were just in their vlogging phase, and Heren was recently introduced. Like, I was there when G was added to the group. Like, I've been with this group for a really, really long time. So for Triple S, I do collect OT24. It sounds bad. But so the way I handle that is I collect one member per era that they participate in. So for example, from Acid Angels from Asia, they only had 4 members in that unit, so I only collected 4 photo cards, one of each member. Maybe I should have collected more while there was time, when they were easier to find. But I'm just gonna leave this where it is, because now that's an insane era to collect. But that includes when they did physical versions of the first class objects, which I love. Then we get into the second round of first class objects. If you don't know that these are replicas, Mod House used to give you a lot of free digital objects for things like voting and stuff. And so I turned those into physical replicas because I love having tangible things in my hand. And while it's cool to have a digital version, it's not like I look at it every day in the way that I look at my binders a lot more often than I look in the Cosmo app, really. The only time I even look there is when they're hosting a Gravity. I pop on and be like, huh, cool, they're doing that sort of thing, you know? So Yes, I've seen some people point out, they're like, that's definitely a replica. Do you know that? I do. I did that on purpose. So technically I own these. They live in my phone and on Mod House's blockchain or whatever. But this is where I care about them being, which is in my book. And so I consider these sets complete, even though they are replicas. It's good enough for me, and these cards are so hard to chase, it's not really worth it for me to think about it too much. Then we have Crystal Eyes and Assemble, which this year I finished, which was very exciting. The group order I joined for Assemble during the era was a scammer. She took all our money and ran. So I was really hesitant to go back and get these cards for a long time because I was just mad. So Assemble. We have round 3 of Adam cards, which was, oh my god, an event to collect, but we did it. Binary. So few people bought any cards during Binary era, so these are impossible to get now. I'm so pleased that I have any of them. Then we get to kill Girls Capitalism. Oh, I love Love Lucian. This album slaps. Girls Capitalism is one of my favorite title tracks from them. And then we have round 2, which is struggling, 8, and then 8 is the pattern we're rocking here. Then we have Evolution, and of course Assemble 24. Nearly complete, not quite though. I love this Sumin, she's so cute. And then starting about Assemble 24 era, I want to try to pick up like 1 9 pocket of pre-order benefits because they do so many pre-order benefits. A lot of them are less valuable than the album cards themselves. So I thought that would be fun. And this is my VV page in my VV pre-order benefits so far. These for when I actually pre-ordered the album, and these I picked up later. And then we have Assemble 25 with the top 8 here. The first 8 I'm still struggling with a bit, but the back half of the group I'm doing pretty well with. And I actually joined a lot of group orders for Assemble 25, so I have quite a few pre-order benefits for this era. Plus one I've picked up. This was a giveaway someone was doing for, they made Pokemon cards of the Alfie members. Really cute, really happy to have won. This is their user. If you were interested in buying your own set, you could totally purchase these. They are available. And then we have, these are pre-order benefits from when I pre-ordered Crystal Eyes originally. This is a different pre-order benefit someone gave me as a freebie. And then we have the Miscellaneous section for Triple S, which is sometimes I just pick things up, or I get freebies, or I make random trades. This is where everything else goes. So we have more replicas of digital objects. This was my light stick pull when I went to see Triple S come true. This was I bought literally 1 card. This was my pull. And then this is my Nyan Sohyun collection. Those are my top 2, is Nyan and Sohyun. So I'm trying to collect a little more for them. So this is my little baby Nyan section, and then my Sohyun section, and this bonus Katone because I love her. And then we have strawberry cards because I'm obsessed with strawberry cards. They're so cute. Their most recent showcase objects are like dessert themed, and really the nerve of them to do that to me, to make me fall in love with another set. I don't know if I'll pick up any of those. I feel like I should maybe focus on these. I don't know if I'm even focusing on these or if I should just be happy having a 9 pocket of them, but they're so cute. I love them. But that is all of my Triple S cards. I've put a lot of energy into Triple S this year, and I think you could tell based on how much change has happened between all of my collections. So our very final thing is my alt girl group, my alt group general, period. Purple Kiss. So for Purple Kiss, I collect OT7. I've been collecting, I didn't collect them and start collecting until Geeky Land, but I've been a fan of them since pre-debut. I love them. I thought I was going to have more time with them. But I collect OT7 album cards and album large inclusions, like all album cards. That includes Korean and Japanese releases. They're one of the very few groups that I collect anything Japanese releases. The Japanese releases are much harder, as you will see when we get there. But here is Into Violet, their debut album. Look how baby they are. And they had these really cute two-cut stickers. I love this. This is not me. This is something I bought from someone else, but Ire signed page before we get into hide and seek era. This card was so hard to find. And this card, it was a lot. I was fighting for my life for these two cards. Let me get into this set. And then the hide and seek tickets. And I have all of the posters. I originally wasn't going to collect these, and then I had a chance to pick them up for, I think, 25 cents a piece. And it was one of those, well, you know what? Why not? Moments. So I have them all, and I've stored them all. And I said I was going to do it just temporarily, but I've decided I will keep them in there. It's a little silly, but I don't need 14 posters on my wall. So they're going to live in there because then I know they're not going to get ruined. Then we have some extra, these were bonuses from a group order I hosted. These K-Contact postcards from Ire. And then we have Mem. We have complete album cards here. And this set as well. I love this outfit set. I don't know if this is my favorite like set of cards for this era, but I do love this set of outfits. Like this dress on Yuki is amazing, and I love the little like frills and her bow. It's so cute. And then we've got the postcards. They did like a cute one and then a heat sensitive one. But the heat sensitive part fills in with all of these doodles they did around here, which I think is very fun. And then we have the mini posters for Mem. Here you can see their outfits a little better, which is stunning. Oh, Miss Chaein. And then we have version 2. I think it was the M and the Mem version, or the meme. It was kind of silly. It's really wild choice. But then we have Geeky Land, also another wild choice to name your album. But here is the main photo book version. And Geeky Land was the first time they did a digital version. This was when everybody was kind of doing a digi version. So here's the digipack cards. These are notoriously quite hard to find because there's 4 sets of them. And it was random pulls no matter whose face is on the front of the digipack. So Princess Chaein, oh my god, you are loved, but you've caused a lot of perky collectors a lot of hardships. But we have film stickers, and then mini posters. And then we get into Cabin Fever. Everyone loves these cards, so this was also another hard era to collect. This was especially their polka album cards. This was the first time they did a polka album. Oh my god. Everyone loves this era, so no one wants to get rid of their cards for it. But I finished it this year, and it's like this set is one of my favorites. I love these pink outfits. They're really, really cute. These two I think are some of my favorites, in this Chaein. Oh my god. And then we have the purple version. Oh, my girls. This still stands as a phenomenal album, in case you haven't listened to the Cabin Fever album recently. And then we have the postcards. And then we have all of their bookmarks. So these are another set of heat-sensitive bookmarks. I don't think you can tell through there. So this is a way for me to see the backs, and then here are the fronts of them. The fronts on the purple and the red version are the same, but the little circle in the back is different. And then we have all the door cards. And then we have Dear Violet, which was their Japanese debut. I have all the regular cards, not so many of the limited versions of the cards. And we also, to finish off this binder, we have Swans 20, a complete set of all 5 album cards in the middle here, and the little postcards that were part of the cassette. Oh, and of course, Yuki with her album cards and the PLVE version, the Plive version, Plave. Do we have a name for that? Or are you just supposed to say it? I was never originally planning on getting this until I had a chance to, so I am on the lookout for that last card, but it's so hard. In the back of this binder, we have the perky miscellaneous section for things I've just been picking up. Grief collecting, some might say. So we've got a few pre-order benefits assorted, some season's greetings stuff. I don't know what's going to come of that section. I do know I want to pick up pre-order benefits for Purple Kiss. I just haven't decided what sets. And I feel like I can't just grab sets at random because that's just not a good financial choice. Also, I have the Japanese cards to worry about still. So I have quite a few of those to pick up. But for our final binder, we have Purple Kiss Round 2, which starts off right away with Festa era. Make sure you can see. So we have, after Cabin Fever, they kind of fell into a groove of deciding, like, we're going to do a main version and some polka versions, which I can appreciate because I think this had ended up being a good amount of cards. I really liked this amount of cards. I do wish we would have kept doing 2 photo books, but I'm not in charge. This is when I saw them in Detroit for their very first tour in Festa. Some bonus postcards, I believe, from the Japanese albums. And then we get to BXX. Underrated album, I think. I feel like I don't see a lot of people talking about it, but I love this album as an object. BXX maybe isn't my favorite title track, but I really enjoy it. And all B-sides are very, very good. I love this Ire and this one and this Dozy. Ah. Oh, wait, hold on. Was it? I got one album sealed, and this was my favorite card from the whole set, and I was so happy when I pulled it. I lost my mind a little bit. But BXX, and then we have the BXX inclusions. They call these big photo cards, which, you know, accurate. The film strips, stored a little funny, but I wanted to make sure good use of the space. And then we get into Headway. Beautiful photo cards from this era. Oh my God. I love the angel concept. Like, I love how you can see the wings in these 2 cards, and like, I feel like you get a good sense of Yuki's outfit even if you can't see her wings. I wish for, especially Chain and Go, and you could see a little more of their outfit, because it's my favorite from the era. Then we got the postcards and the Polaroids. I am missing this chain. Again, it's with my friend who, like, I know she will send it out. I just don't know how long it will be. And I'm willing to wait for a really long time because it's not that big a deal to me. And then they came with these little unit bookmarks. I like how this looks, so I will probably do that. I was trying to avoid using more photo corners, but I think it just looks better, so I will probably fix up these. Then we have the Headway tour. I tried to buy I didn't go to the BXX or Headway tour, but I tried to buy the card secondhand. But the group order manager I went with, they're like, I got to the on site and they were out of cards. Sorry. But a friend picked these up for me, so big thanks. So I do have these tour cards before we go. Oh, and I have the Yuki Macaron. She's just cute and I love her, so I got her. I'm a sucker for food themes when it comes to non-album stuff. But then we get into our era. With I Miss My, I have almost all of my pulls for I Miss My, so I'm almost complete, but I have one group order manager who's still sorting stuff out. They showed us a picture of the pulls and they looked pretty even, so I'm hoping I will be able to get my last 2 missing cards, which are both Cheyen's. Oops. The cards for this era are also immaculate, the concepts are immaculate, and I'm missing a few large inclusions, which I'm hoping to cover with those group orders. But we have mini posters and little ornaments. Blue contacts are kind of unsettling, especially when she's blown up that big on the poster. Oops. Then we have a handful of pre-order benefits for I Miss My. I have a few more on the way. Again, with that same group order manager, they're sorting. And 1 Hour Now card. I guess Hour Now is technically our disbandment era, but oh, wow. This felt more like a gift to giving, be like, sorry, we're disbandment, and sorry, we're disbanding, and less of like, this is the disbandment era, if that makes sense. But I'm complete with these album cards. And I'm almost complete with large inclusions. I'm just missing 1 Cheyen postcard. Anyone wants to give me this Cheyen postcard, I'll be real happy. But then we have all the mini posters. I'm obsessed with Dozy in the hat, so I'm glad that we've gotten some good shots of this outfit. And then I did go to A Violet to Remember. I went all out for this tour, including getting the set signed. This group meant a lot to me, and I'm very sad to have to let go. So also grief collecting some bonus Jiyuns. If you have any, this is my formal, if you have Jiyun duplicates that you don't want anymore, and you're like, I can't get rid of these Jiyun cards, I will pay shipping for you to give them to me, because I miss her, and I'm so excited to see what she's going to be acting in next. I don't care if they're duplicates of these cards that you're already seeing down here. If you have Jiyuns you want to get rid of, and you're like, I can't stand them taking up space, I can't trade them to anybody, no one will buy them, I will pay shipping for you to give them to me. Don't worry about it. At the Dreamer's Pet on Instagram. So that is everything in my binders. That is my full collection. It's really hard to feel the growth month by month, especially when I'm only storing photo cards every couple of months, but I think there's been a lot of progress. It's definitely expanded in terms of space it takes up on my shelves. But thank you everybody for joining me on my PC collecting journey. I really enjoy this hobby. I have a lot of fun with it. And it makes me really happy to see that a lot of people like to tune in and watch me store photo cards or look at my binders. I do this for me, but it's cool when I get to share with somebody else. So upcoming for 2026, I feel like I always set goals and I never achieve those goals. So I think my goals are going to be for the year 2026. I'm going to get that Emma PC. I'm going to get the Emma Bad Villain PC. I'm going to get that Dahyun postcard. I'm going to get a Dahyun Assembled 24 postcard. It's the last thing I do. And I would like to finish one of the Purple Kiss Japanese albums. That could be either finishing the limited cards or picking up the regular set for On the Violet. I think those will be my goals. I'm trying to keep them very doable. The Japanese card thing is maybe even pushing it a little bit, but maybe I should have started with Purple Kiss because now I'm in a very sentimental mood. But thank you everybody so much for watching. Thank you for hanging out with me for a whole year. Or if this is your first time checking in, I don't ask you to subscribe very often, but if you'd like to see more of these collections grow, I would love to have you here if you want to subscribe and hang out. I make other styles of content too, including some light collaging content, lots of ranking and opinions-based music critique videos. I want to dabble a little bit in video essays this year. There's going to be a lot more to come. So thank you, everybody. Happy 2026, and I will catch you in the next one. My fellow K-Pops and Cosmic Bodies, peace.